These are my tips on how you can make the absolute most money that you can as an RN without working multiple jobs, working overtime, or traveling. I've increased my salary by $30,000 a year. I'll show you guys how I went from making this to this. If you're new here, my name is Safia. I'm a registered nurse and nurse practitioner student. I post a lot of nurse-related content on my channel. I share a lot of my experiences that I've been through as a nurse, so if you're interested, definitely hit the subscribe button. First and foremost, I want to talk about raises. How much you should expect your hourly pay to go up every year. In my span of being a nurse for almost 7 years, I've noticed two different kind of raises. There's a merit increase raise and a market adjustment raise. So each year your manager will look at your job performance and they'll see like if you're meeting expectations, if you're below, if you're above, and they'll give you a certain rating. Based on that rating, that's the type of raise that you will see at the end of the year. For example, if you scored a 4 out of 5 of your performance evaluation, then you'll get a 4% raise based on your hourly rate. Say you're making $30 an hour, you'll get 4% of that $30 and your hourly rate will increase to $31.20. But keep in mind, not all hospitals or companies offer merit increase raises. They should, but sometimes it's not really in their budget to increase everybody's pay each year. I worked at a hospital where I didn't receive a merit increase raise for 2 years. So I was almost like mind blown when I worked at a hospital that actually gave me a raise after the year was up. I've seen different companies give wide ranges of their annual merit increases. I've seen 1% raises to 10% raises. For all of the hospitals that I've worked at, I've seen like an average of 3 to 5% annual raise, and kind of like the average is a 3% raise of your hourly rate. And that just means that if you're meeting expectations, if you're not like showing to work late or calling out of work all the time, you're probably meeting expectations and you'll probably get that 3% raise at the end of the year. So even if you just like outperform, you're the star of the unit and you get a 5 out of 5 of your performance eval, which I feel like they never really give, but you'll get like a 5% raise. I feel like it's not really like that much. And honestly, like I don't know if you have to go like above and beyond to get that 5 out of 5% rating, because I feel like I've outperformed and I still just got like a 3. So I don't know what you have to do to get that 5 out of 5. But I feel like it's kind of rare, and that's why they set the expectations so high. Next is a market adjustment raise. I've only seen this once in my entire career. With market adjustment raises, companies will look at the average nursing pay in that area. They'll look at how much of a demand nurses are in, and they'll look at how much their competitors are paying their nurses. And depending on those different type of factors, they'll do like a system-wide pay increase to their nurses. But like I said, I've only seen this happen once, and it was way more money than any other merit increases that I've ever had. I think it was like a $2 raise. So this is how I've increased my salary from making about $60K a year to $90K a year. A whole $30K increase. In 2018, I was working as an oncology nurse and I was making about $31 an hour. I left that facility and I returned to the same hospital system 4 years later, and they hired me at $45 an hour. So in the span of 4 years, I increased my pay by $14. Now, had I had stayed at that hospital for the whole 4 years and just take on average, I was getting a 3% raise every year, I would have only been making $34.72. So just to put it into perspective, if I had stayed at that hospital, that same hospital for 4 years, I would have received an annual hourly increase of $3.72. But because I left and came back 4 years later, I increased my hourly rate by $14. Insane. So here is how I did it. My number one tip to increasing your pay is to change jobs. If you were to leave a job and apply to a different facility with the same amount of experience, I guarantee you will make more money because that hospital needs you and they will be offering you a couple more dollars more than what your current hospital will be giving you as your annual raise. If you've been in a hospital for 2-3 years and you feel like what you're giving in is not what you're receiving as far as like pay, you're probably not, like, honestly, if you were to apply to a different hospital, I guarantee you'll be making like a couple more dollars more than what this facility is offering you. And I feel like you have a little bit more leverage because you're applying to a hospital that needs nurses right now. That's why they put a job posting up for an RN. And you can kind of say, hey, I have like X number amount of experience. This company is offering me this. I would like to receive $2-3 more, and see if you can kind of negotiate in the middle. And you'll still be receiving probably more of an hourly rate increase versus if you were to stay at the same hospital and get that merit increase of 3%. Each job that I've worked in the past 7 years, I was able to increase my nursing skills and expand my knowledge in nursing. And I think that those type of factors increase like my worth as a nurse. And I feel like employers see that and they're willing to offer me more money to bring me on and be part of their team. If you're interested in learning more about my nursing background and how much money I've made as a registered nurse in different specialties, definitely check out my nurse salary video, because I break down each hourly rate that I've received as an RN working in different specialties like oncology, NICU, case management, and primary care. So definitely check that out after you watch this video. But a disclaimer. Think about this before like you start applying to jobs. Changing jobs every year, every couple of years does not apply to everybody. If you're at a job and you truly love the hospital that you're working in, your coworkers, just the whole work environment, please stay, because it's really not worth like jumping around jobs if you really if you really love your job. It's really not worth it. I've already been in that situation where I was getting paid like pretty good money, but I didn't like my work environment, so I was willing to take a pay cut for my mental sake. So if you love your job, please stay. This does not apply to you. Also, if you want to benefit in the 403B plans and you want to be vested into that company, definitely stay. A lot of companies, they require you to stay for about 2 or 3 years until you're fully vested and you can have that money. So if you're looking into more of like a financially stable like investment future, if that makes sense, then definitely stay at that hospital. Of course, like what I do, I always just roll my 403B plans into the next job that I work in. So I'll always get that money, but I do lose that money that my employer matches, which kind of sucks, but I also don't want to stay in a job for 2, 3, 4 years if I don't want to. My next tip in increasing your pay is going PRN. So PRN means working as needed. So on an as needed basis, whenever the unit is short a nurse, that is when you step in and pick up a shift. So it's really flexible. You can work whenever you want, whenever you feel like it, and you will get the most pay as a nurse there. Every hospital has their own PRN requirements. So some hospitals will require you to work like 2 shifts a month, 4 shifts a month. So it's really flexible and you can pick up whenever you want, and you'll still be making the most pay because PRN rates are higher than full-time rates and part-time rates. Of course, working 2 shifts a week will not pay the bills. So you can still work like a full 36-hour work week and make more money. And you know, if you want to take off a week, you can. I currently work PRN and I absolutely love it. It works best for my lifestyle. I'm currently in school, so it helps me balance out working and going to clinicals. And I said this in my nurse salary video that I'm able to make over $100 working PRN because I pick up incentive shifts. So it really helps to just like make the most money that I can without burning myself out and working overtime and working 48 hours a week to match that pay. But a disclaimer, again, a disclaimer. Working PRN means no benefits, no paid time off, no medical, vision, dental insurance, no extended illness balance, and no guaranteed 36 an hour work week. So Keep that in mind if you decide like, yeah, you want to go PRN, but if you need that insurance, if you need the medical insurance, stay. I mean, there are like individual healthcare plans that you could purchase outside of the hospital, but if you need more of like a stable insurance, like if you have a family and you need that medical benefit, you have other people on your plan, or if you need like paid time off, if you need that guaranteed 36 hours a week, definitely stay full-time. I have experience in med-surg, oncology, case management, NICU, primary care, just a lot of different things. And you know, I know like there's like a stigma where you have to stay at a job for years to like prove your loyalty to a company. But I feel like if you're not working in a space that you enjoy and you feel like you're not getting the maximum amount of pay that you deserve, then why not, you know, change hospitals and see what another work environment is like, or change specialties and see if that's something that you would like. Honestly, I think that that's like the beauty in nursing, because I can't think of any other career where you can do that. Like nurses, you can literally do anything you want. Like you don't have to stay in one place and do one thing. There's so many different things. It's such a diverse career. So definitely keep that in mind, keep that into consideration. If you feel like you're working in a place where you're not entirely happy and your pay is not really being matched, then it kind of makes it a little bit worse. Moving on and figuring out if you like a different work environment and you're making more money, and just overall like happiness and mental health will like pay off in the long run. So just to sum that all up, y'all, my 2 tips on increasing your pay, just like how I've increased mine by $30,000, is to 1, not stay at a job for too long, for not 5-10 years, because you honestly could be making a lot more money at a different facility. And 2, go PRN if you can. That will provide you the most money and the most flexibility, but of course you're losing that benefit aspect. So if you need that, definitely stay as a full-time staff. And if you love your job, if you love the hospital, if you love your coworkers, definitely stay there. But if you're in the mood to kind of moving around and seeing like what you like, where you want to work as a registered nurse, definitely take those 2 tips in mind. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you guys as always. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see y'all in my next one.